You're listening to the Business Building Rockstars Show, where your host, Nicole Holland, gets the lowdown from today's most talented, inspiring, and successful entrepreneurs on what it really takes to reach rockstar status.
Hello and welcome to episode 20 of the Business Building Rockstars Show. Before I introduce my guest today, I want to let you know about the episode that we'll be releasing on Monday, May 2nd. That's episode 21 with Jay Fazette. Jay is an incredible mentor of mine, and I'm really excited to bring you this episode where we're going to talk about what to do when you're not manifesting what you want for your business. Jay reveals things that most marketers won't tell you and shares his secret to success and life satisfaction. So make sure you're tuning in on Monday for episode 21. Today's episode with Kate Steinbacher of the Coach's Console is about eliminating the burdens and distractions around your business. I had a blast with Kate and we got into some pretty fun stuff. So I look forward to sharing this with you. And I want to let you know before I do about my brand new membership community called the Tough Cookies. If you're enjoying the episodes and you're enjoying the perspective that I bring to entrepreneurship and you'd like to get more from me, then go ahead and text the word cookie to 33444 or visit bbrshow.com/cookie to find out more about how you can join my exclusive community. All right, now without further ado, let's get to the episode. Hey there, entrepreneur. Welcome to the Business Building Rockstars Show. Today, I'm super excited to introduce Kate Steinbacher. Kate is a consummate entrepreneur and collaborator, an agent for fun and change, as well as a business coach, speaker, and prolific writer of self-development articles. After a varied and exciting career in corporate America, Kate became a business coach in 2001 and is currently a principal in the Coaching Advantage and co-founder of an incredible back-end solution for coaches and other service-based entrepreneurs called the Coach's Console. Change, action, and fun have always been allies for Kate's success and part of her driving force. Kate, I'm super excited to have you here. And before we get started, are you ready to rock?
I am.
Awesome. So how about you bring us up to speed and tell us sort of day in the life of what's happening now for you?
Well, right now, as co-founder of the Coach's Console, my business is rocking, and my business partner and I, Melinda Cohen, have really hit our stride. And it's been a 12-year journey. And we'll continue on and on, of course. We are very excited with what we're able to do. You see, our vision, our mission as two coaches, what we wanted to do was we wanted to get the world coached, but we knew the chances of that happening for just two people was about zero. So we said, wow, what if we made lots of coaches or folks like us successful business owners? Because what we saw was there were lots of hobbyists, people that wanted to make it happen but couldn't get there. They were afraid or whatever. So we created, with Melinda's great brain, the Coach's Console, which is an online system to run your entire business for a getting started coach. And we feel like, well, we're touching thousands of coaches. They are touching thousands of clients, and we're helping get in the world coach. So we're meeting our mission.
It's amazing. And I'm so excited to have you here and to really get into your story a bit more. I came across the Coach's Console and am blown away. And it's just, I tell people it is such a perfect solution for somebody who is a coach or other service-based entrepreneur. You don't have to be a coach to use it, but it's like for the person who is not technically inclined and they're like, oh my gosh, I need a website, I need email automation, I need to deal with like, how do I deliver a program? How do I do this? It's like everything is already in this beautiful system that you guys created. And it's like, you get it and it's all in one solution. And I'm so excited to share about that and to have you tell us more about how you guys even came up with this. I know it was a joint effort, but like you wanted to coach everybody, you wanted to get people, to help people, but why this system?
Well, as a coach, I was a great marketer. I had no problem getting out there and getting clients. My problem was I had major oh crap moments. Like I would get a client and I would call my coach and say, oh crap, now what? And she would say, well, now you have to have an agreement. I'm like, what's that? She'd say, here it is. And she'd send it to me. So every step of the way, I bumped into what Melinda and I now fondly call Kate's oh crap moments. and, and so I did this for about 3 years. I was successful, but not as successful as I could have been. And then I met Melinda, and she was I was her mentor coach. She was just starting out, and she got to the part of putting together her business. And I said, oh, I've got everything for you. And I handed her this stack of papers, and off she went. She kind of looked at me like, are you kidding? And I was like, yeah, here's what I've got. You can use whatever you want. I thought I was doing her such a big favor. Well, Melinda is a process-oriented mind, and she was able to take all that stuff I gave her, a combination of papers and folders and oh my God, what a mess. Anyway, and she was able to put it together in an organized, amazing fashion. And she started talking to website designers, and this was 12, 13 years ago, 14 years ago probably. They were just beginning then. They weren't as great as they are now. And she had these amazing ideas about how to automate an agreement and how to do this and how to do that. And she came back the next month and she said, well, this is what I put together. And I looked at her and I said, I want that. And she said, you do? I said, yeah. And so we looked at each other and said, wow, maybe we've got something. Maybe we can help get the world coached. And so that's kind of how it started. And we found developers that were able to understand our vision. And it's been 12 years in the making, and we've served thousands of coaches, and it's rocking and rolling, and it's very exciting.
That is so cool. Now, how did you, can you talk a little bit about how you came to create this partnership? So she was, you were her mentor coach, and you guys, the papers and all that, understand. But now what about the back end? Like, did you just go, oh, let's just work together? Or was there more of a process to developing that professional partnership?
Sure. There was a combination of things. My job in the company is mostly sales, and I am the queen of fun. Melinda is the process, makes it all fit together kind of person. So when we first sat down, we were at Barnes & Noble when we came up with this concept, and Melinda had this vision that came to her that, I'm supposed to eliminate the burdens and distractions for people around their business. And I heard her, and we talked about it, and she said, well, what do you think? Is this going to make sense? And I said, well, if it's about having what you've created and better, I'm in. I'm wanting this. I said, and I think a lot of people would want it. And so we looked at each other and we said, all right, it's a deal. We shook hands over a coffee, and I was having some kind of a funny chocolate, something or other. And I dipped my thumb in it, and we had written everything on a napkin, and I fingerprinted it with my thumb, and she fingerprinted it with her thumb. And that was our first contract.
Wow, that's awesome.
And we still have it hanging on the wall in the office. I don't have it in this office, but in my other office I do. We did then take the next steps, of course, and create a legal entity in which we work together. And we chose to put in our coaching as well as this program so that we could support ourselves with our coaching first to begin to build. We bootstrapped everything. Mm-hmm. We had one person that helped us, a financial angel, and he was my husband. And he believed in us and said, you ladies are amazing, I'm in. And so he was our angel investor, and we started with very small, and we've grown tremendously over the last 12 years. So
that's incredible. So now, what do you think your kind of secret to success in the partnership aspect is? Because I think a lot of times people, they get these great ideas and they meet other people with great ideas and they're like, yes, let's work together. This will be beautiful. And it fizzles out pretty fast. You guys have been together for 12 years. You've built this amazing company that's like changing lives all over the world, making a heck of a lot of money. So, can't leave that one out. So what is it that do you think is kind of like your secret to success in that partnership?
That's a great question. And I'll tell you, bottom line, I had a partnership before. I was in the travel industry for many years, and my colleague and I created a partnership. And when we sat down together, I looked at her and I said, you know what, Emily? I said, I am so excited about doing this legal partnership together. I said, but number one for me, always, and it needs to be for both of us, is our friendship first. The business has to come second. And I believe that wholeheartedly because when you are a friend first, there's that amazing connection, and it only grows greater. That doesn't mean there aren't bumps and bruises along the way. Oh my gosh, we've hit our walls, no question about it. We could tell some stories. But when you sit back down and not just looking at a contract, but are looking at two human beings that care about each other, and that comes first, it's like a marriage, really. You know, she has a fabulous husband in their home life. I have a fabulous husband in my home life. And then we've got this crazy business together. And it becomes like a marriage, the partnership. And if you don't have that, if it's just words on a document, I think that's where people make mistakes. Plus, you have to really, in the beginning, make sure, again, like a marriage, that you are both on the same basic page about the vision and the mission. The second thing you have to do is you've got to make sure that you honor and respect each other. You've got to have kind of a charter of agreement that you work together on that's a personal document, not a legal document. You know, how we want to communicate, how we want to work together. Who's the leader? I mean, there's got to be a leader. You can do 50-50, but it can become messy. So we decided we needed to have a leader in our group. So all of those little details come together to create that one bond that creates not only an amazing friendship, but an amazing business.
That's fantastic. So now tell me about, let's go back in time, like way back in time to the beginning. Now, when you were a little kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
You see that person in the background there?
Yeah.
That is Annie Oakley. I don't know if you've probably never heard of Annie Oakley. She was a gunslinging lady who was a crack shot better than most men, and she struggled her way up to be seen and heard. And I loved her. I always wanted to be Annie Oakley. And thank you to Marissa, I did get to be Annie Oakley.
Yeah, and for the listeners who aren't seeing this video, if we are on YouTube, so if you want to hop over to YouTube, you can actually see what Kate's talking about. But Marissa Murgatroyd hosted one of her many superhero summits, and in that, Kate and Melinda got to be cowgirls, and Kate got to be Annie Oakley with a gun, and did a life, or they blew it up to life size, so that's hanging on the wall.
So that was the beginning for me. I always wanted to be a leader, someone who made stuff happen. And, you know, I grew up believing I could do anything. What I learned as I got older was, wow, you know, I'm third generation of German immigrants that came through Ellis Island in New York City. They came here and they created a business. They started out as laundry people and they ended up in a construction business that grew quite well. So I came from entrepreneurship. So it didn't seem like something that was outrageous to me. So I went through the whole process of, wow, how do I get to be this person that gets to do what I want to do? And, you know, you bump into roadblocks. I was a female, and in the 60s and 70s, wanting to do your own thing as a female was a little different. So maybe a bit of a pioneer like Annie Oakley. And, you know, for the most part, I just always felt like I've got a decent brain in my head. I can make sense of things, and I'm willing to work at it. And with those three qualities, I felt like I could do anything. And if you believe it, you can do it. Now, you also want to know how to ask for help, and I learned that too. But in the beginning, you got to have those three things. Have a decent brain in your head, believe it, know how to make stuff happen, and don't get pushed back on, and go about making it happen. Take the steps to do it. Don't be afraid.
Awesome. Now, when you started coaching, it was still sort of the early days of coaching, and the internet was still like not really used very much. I think there was already MySpace maybe for social media, but
AOL was the big thing.
AOL, absolutely. That was after Prodigy, right? I remember Prodigy. So did you did your coach training from Thomas Leonard, or who did you use?
I did Coach U, which was started by Thomas Leonard, Mm-hmm.
And that was, I think, the first online coaching training, which is really, you know, I don't know if they're still saying it, but when I did my coaching training, Thomas Leonard was like the grandfather of bringing the coaching industry into the world.
And actually, we weren't online then, really. We were on the phone.
Yeah, right.
Everything was on the phone. And when I first heard about it, I was like, what? You're going to have a class on the phone? I don't think I can do that. Then I looked at other schools and what it costs to do it live. And I said, I think I'll try the phone.
I went to SWIHA, Southwest Institute of Healing Arts, out in Tempe, Arizona. And back then they did not do online. Now they do online. Like everything's online.
Sure.
But yeah, at that time, Coach U, it was like the website was just, a brochure, like any website. There was no functionality there, but it was cool. And then they would put the calls up because I did a couple of things with them. So that was neat. So how did you come to decide to even be a coach and to look into the different coaching schools and coach you?
Well, I had a travel business. I had worked on cruise ships for much of my life. And because of that, I had great connections all over the world. And a colleague and I chose to create a fabulous travel company. So we took small groups, luxurious groups, on art and music programs all over the world. It was so fun and exciting.
That sounds so fun and exciting. I know you're not doing it anymore, but I'm like,
I'm not.
I want to do that.
Actually, I do it with my husband and our friends now. So that's cool too. But, I got to a certain point where it was like, wow, this is a lot of money and a lot of doing this and I love it, but what's next for me? So I started looking into it, and the first thing I do when I'm looking for the next thing in my life is I ask friends, family, colleagues, what am I good at? What do you think I should be doing? And 2 people contacted me and said, I think you should be a coach. And I ignored it. And the third one was my sister. And she said, you should definitely be a coach. I said, Barb, I don't get this. I don't even like sports. What is everybody telling me I need to be a coach? And she said, no. And she gave me a website for the ICF, International Coach Federation. And I looked it up and I went, wow, that fits me. So I immediately hired a coach, immediately signed up for Coach U, and immediately sold my business. Now, there must have been an angel on my shoulder, because that September was 9/11. And I would have had $250,000 of my money on the line with travel programs that would never have gone. So that was it. And I was in and happening. And within 6 months, I was in school, had my coach, I had clients. In my first year, I had 30 clients, way more than I needed. There's too many.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it worked because I was really good. Now, I lost a lot of clients because I didn't know what the heck I was doing as far as the back office stuff goes. I was very good at getting out there and speaking and getting people to connect with me. But man, I didn't have my stuff together in the background. And that I discovered after learning and working with Melinda, how important that is for a business.
Absolutely. So, wow, that's great. So you learned about coaching. You hired a coach immediately, like before you enrolled, or was that part of the enrollment?
Before I enrolled, I went on the website. I found a coach in my community. I had lunch with her and I said, Kathy, I'm in. I want you to coach me. And she said, okay. And she said, what do you want to coach about? I said, well, I got to close one business and get another one started. And she said, well, the first thing you want to do then is get into school. And this is the school I went to, and I did my research and discovered that I wanted a school that not only taught the processes, the way to coach, but I wanted them to be teaching us how to build a business as well. And at the time, Coach U was the best at that from my perspective.
Oh, absolutely. And, I think too, it's important for people who are, important. I'm going to go on to a little bit of a gripe here. So I am such a firm believer in coaching. Obviously, I think it's like the most transformative, important thing that you could do is coach if that's the right fit for you. However, my concern now is a lot of people jump into coaching just thinking, oh, well, I know how to do that, so I can coach others. And there's no fundamentals there. And you mentioned the ICF. Like, you have to understand transference and countertransference. You have to keep it clean. You have to know all the, I can't even think of the word right now, but the pillars. You have to know how to be a coach before you coach. Like, you can teach people what you know how to do, but to truly coach and to create transformation in people's lives, there are so many things that you're not going to learn from an 8-hour, telecourse or from just watching.
I am so on your team.
Oh my God. And it's so hard. It's like, it's one of the things that really I'm getting over it, but it was really hard for me having come from a proper, accredited college and
Yep.
gone in and done the whole thing and then come out. And now I hear people going, oh, I'm a coach. And it's like, okay. But they don't know how to coach. They know how to tell you what to do.
Yeah, they're great mentors. They're great consultants. They're great advisors. And there's a place for that, but it's not
Absolutely.
coaching.
Absolutely. There is that difference. And I would encourage anybody who wants their business to be around coaching as a coach, to be a transformational leader, get the education under your belt.
Yeah. I knew immediately that if I was going to do this, I was going to be a professional. And in order to be a professional, I needed to be properly educated and be part of the ICF or whatever organization you choose. It doesn't matter, but be a part of the bigger picture. Be a part of the movement to make it be. And, I bump into people all the time. And I'll tell you, the biggest gripe I have, since we're kind of on our little soapboxes here, if you don't mind.
I love it.
Is that, like I said to you, the first thing I did was hire a coach. Now, if you're not willing to hire a coach and you say, I can't afford a coach, you are not going to have a coaching business because you don't believe in it. Yeah. If you're not willing to do what it takes to hire your own coach, forget it. You're not walking your talk. The first thing I tell people, get yourself a coach. Have them help you walk through it. And it will be a combination of coaching and mentoring. So there'll be a balance there. But gosh, get yourself a coach. How can you expect someone to hire you if you say, I can't afford it?
That's my biggest thing too. It's like people will say, well, I want people to pay me this amount of money, but they're not willing to pay that amount of money. And it's like, wait a minute.
Exactly.
You're telling the universe like totally the opposite of what you're coming out of your mouth. So absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. So, so we kind of talked about, I was going to ask you about your light bulb moment. Was there something specific that went off where you're like, whoa, coaching specifically, or was it sort of a natural progression?
Well, for me, once I found out coaching wasn't about sports, and I discovered that it was about helping people, kind of being part of the helping world, I thought, wow, I have the abilities, I have the passion for such a thing. If I get myself educated, this would be great. So I talked to my husband about it, and he's an engineer. So his comment was, are you sure this is not some kind of multi-level marketing? They're all trying to sell you the same, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I'm not positive. And so what we did was in the very, very beginning when I started with Coach U, they used to do a yearly conference just for Coach U people. So I said to my husband, I said, okay, Tom, here's the deal. We're going to sign up for this event. It was in Hawaii. How could you go wrong? And I said to him, if nothing else, we'll be in Hawaii in a beautiful place and we'll spend a week diving afterwards. We're both scuba divers. He said, it's a deal. I said, and I want you to sign up as a participant, pay the fees, go to the classes. We'll go to separate classes. We'll get together in the end and you tell me if it's junk or what. So we spent 4 days at this event and he did his thing and I did my thing and we'd come together at night. When we were leaving at the end, he was crying. Oh. I swear to God. He said, I don't want to leave these people. They're wonderful. He had been in business all his life and that dog eat dog atmosphere of, I've got something and you can't have. And these people were open and transformational and transparent and willing to share everything because they know there's plenty out there. And it was such a great feeling. He said, if it's multi-level marketing or whatever it is, I think you should be in it.
That's so cool.
So I felt that we had really checked it out and I felt solid and I knew it was an area that I could go for and I could make a difference.
Very nice. I love that you got your husband involved and that he was and not only that you got him involved, but I love what you said about you took different classes so you could have your own separate experiences and then come together also and process that. Very cool. Now, if you could go back, I don't know, you've been doing this so like, let's say 20 years. If you could go back in time 20 years and give yourself some advice about the future, what would it be as a businesswoman?
I think the biggest things are even if you're scared, do it anyway. Give it a try. But if you don't try it, you don't know whether it's a success or a failure. Get the heck out of your comfort zone. If you're in your comfort zone, you're getting nowhere fast. And ask everybody everything. Ask for help, ask for understanding, ask for support. Ask. If you don't ask, you don't get. And every time I've ever been in a situation to ask, I've always gotten amazing responses. Every time I've ever been asked, I'm thrilled to be asked. Thank you. It makes me feel great too, to be able to share with someone. So, gosh, whatever you do, ask for help, ask for support, and take risks. Not, life or death risks, but, take some risks. Take some smart risks.
Awesome. And what would you say is your number one self-care strategy that helps you continue doing what you're doing?
Woohoo, vacation. Melinda and I, my business partner, Melinda Cohen, and I are big advocates of vacation. Our goal this year, last year we had we were on vacation about 30% of the time. This year, our goal is to be on vacation 50% of the year.
Nice.
So far, we're doing very well.
Yay! Very cool.
Yeah.
So, Kate, as we wrap up, why don't you let our listeners know where they can find out more information about you and how they can get support? I think I created a link, like I said, which is bbrshow.com/console, but I'll turn it over to you. And
yeah. So please go to that and you'll find, you can get on our website, and on the Coaches Console website, it's coachesconsole.com if you get lost somewhere in there. What you'll discover is a quiz that you can take. And the quiz gives you an idea of where you are in setting up and growing your business. And we take you through a great educational process. So even if you don't choose to get involved any further with us, the educational process is well worth it. We teach you everything you need to know about all of the back office details that take to run a coaching or a service-based business. We work with authors and personal trainers and therapists, etc. And we give you all of the details. We give you a roadmap of what it takes and how to take step by step. So if you choose Coaches Console, great, we'd love to have you. If you choose to set up your own thing, that's fine too. We're not out there to push anything on someone that doesn't want it, but we would love you to be educated, because what we know is that when you go into it blindly, you spend a lot of money and a lot of time, and it takes people 3 to 5 years to get up and running. We've had people jump into our Easy Breezy Boot Camp, which we do every August, and within 3 or 4 months, they're up and running and getting their first clients. And they haven't spent all that extra money that everyone else spent. I know I spent thousands of dollars on a website that wasn't even good. It did nothing for an opt-in. It didn't do anything I need. It was pretty. I liked it. But I didn't know that you needed to have a way to build your mailing list and connect with people and autoresponders and all of those crazy things. So we would love to have you come to our site and take the quiz, see where you're at, and learn and understand what it takes. And if you want to spend more time with us, we'd love to have you.
Awesome. And I do want to just do a little plug here, because I want to make sure that the listeners understand what the Coaches Console is. Again, you can go to bbrshow.com/console to hop right onto the Coaches Console website, and you can read all about it. But if you're not at a computer, I just want to be really clear. This is so perfect, in my opinion, for somebody who is ready to take their business online. So maybe you have a service-based business and you're getting those clients like Kate used to, where she had all those people, but she didn't have those steps in place. You get on the Coaches Console as a Coaches Console client. If you wind up having that, they give you a website pre-configured. They give you step-by-step everything. You have your autoresponder system. You have your email system. So you don't need to get Aweber or MailChimp and this and this and this. It's like it's all in there. You even they have an area where you can deliver coursework online. So you don't need a separate membership site or, something like CourseCats or any of these other systems. Everything you need as a service-based business owner. And then there was something else that I thought, we talked about the autoresponder, but you have something else in there too, eh?
Shopping cart, merchant account, note taking. If you're a coach, you can have note taking, a calendar that's automated.
Calendar, yes.
That
you can set up appointments, right?
Time trades, set up appointments. Your clients can set up appointments. You get reminders. So it's,
it's incredible.
It's on your time zone. It's everything you need in one place, automated, integrated, and organized so that you get there right from the start. And to be perfectly honest, I recommend that if you're just starting out, now's the time when you have no clients to get this set up. People say, oh, but I don't have any clients.
No.
It's not that expensive considering what it normally takes to put all this together. Even if you have no clients, you get started with it. So then when you go to a networking event or you talk to someone online, you say, and this, I invite you to come to my website because this is how I run my business. We also teach you exquisite client support, how to support your clients during, after, before, and between the coaching process. There's forms there for you, and you can make everything your own as well.
Yeah, the forms.
It's amazing way to get started right. So you don't have any of those, oh crap moments.
and I think too, just to talk about money for a second, because people, a lot of times they're pricing things out and looking at different places and thinking, how can I do this on my own? Let me tell you, I suffered before Infusionsoft. I suffered. Like the summit, it was great. It was a great success. Everybody enjoyed it, but my email marketing sucked. And my retention sucked and everything. Like it was so hard. I had constant problems with email. I should have had and all this other integration. I should have had Infusionsoft before. I didn't. I thought I could do it myself. And now I have Infusionsoft. I pay $300 a month to have a system, an email system that allows me to do what I need to do to service my clients. And that's only the email system. That's not including my Acuity account. That's not including my lead pages. That's not including my WordPress site, my wish list member, and the plugins and everything else that I've put together. So just so people can get that idea, if you are just starting out, if you're thinking about having an online business and it is service-based, if you go with Coaches Console, and I'm not like pushing you to do it, but I definitely want to push you to look at it because it was a solution. It's a solution a lot of people don't know about. Everything you need to get started is in there. One place, one price with the support. You guys have weekly calls too, right? Yeah,
we have weekly calls, live calls. We have online help. We have all kinds of great stuff. We have videos. We have a tutorial that walks you through we even had certified VAs. Now they are an extra charge, but they are certified in the system. So if you're like me, lazy, you hire one of those ladies and man, they set it all up for you. And all you have to do is talk to your clients and it makes a big difference.
It's an incredible solution. So I'm so excited to have you here. I'm so excited to share about what you're doing and who you are.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Yeah. Thank you for being here, Kate. It's been fun.
My pleasure.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And if you did, I would love to hear about it. Tweet me on Twitter using the hashtag BBR Show and let me know about any insights or ahas that you had during this episode. I'd love to invite you to join my community called the Tough Cookies and to get my support in building your business. Want more info? Text the word cookie to 33444 or visit bbrshow.com/cookie for more information. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in, whether this is your very first episode or whether you're a regular listener. I certainly appreciate you. Remember that you can catch up on all of the past episodes and future episodes by subscribing on iTunes, on Stitcher, or on Google Play Music. You can also see videos at my YouTube channel and catch all of the show notes as well as past episodes at bbrshow.com. I look forward to chatting with you again on Monday for episode 21 with Jay Fazette. And until then, have a fantastic weekend.
And there you have it. If you enjoyed this episode of the Business Building Rockstars Show, be sure to subscribe on iTunes so you don't miss a thing. And visit bbrshow.com for all the show notes and links to resources discussed on today's show. Plus, lots more.